What Buhari has done to AK-47 wielding bandits worse than declaring them as terrorists, Garba Shehu. Presidential spokesman Garba Shehu says what the federal government has done to AK-47 wielding bandits is worse than designating them as terrorists. He spoke in an interview with BBC News Pidgin on Saturday morning, monitored by The Punch. Garba was responding to a question on why the regime of his principal, Major General Buhari, retired, has not outlawed blood-sucking bandits just as the current government proscribed the indigenous people of Biafra and moved to do the same to Yoruba Nation secessionist group. What the Buhari administration has done to the arms-wielding bandits is worse than being declared as terrorists. There is a subsisting order by the president that any arms-wielding AK-47 bandits should be shot on sight. Yes, IPOB has been proscribed by law of the land. There is no shoot on sight order, Shehu said. Well, let's see what your boss has to say about that, because I'm so confused. The Nigerian Air Force is busy bombing locations. The military is there on the ground, exchanging fire for fire, taking them out in hundreds. That is certainly not treating people, bandits, lightly. He added. The presidential aide also said, one thing people who say that ignore the successes that are being recorded in many areas in the fight against insurgency in the country. Okay. Yeah, but then we've now received news. Well, one of yours, has now come out to say that the government knows who the sponsors are of Boko Haram and all these terrorists and bandits, that they know who they are. Because one thing that has shifted the game, listen, if the event of the NDA, if that did not happen, then maybe we can start arguing, what did Buhari say, what did Buhari not say, fine. But the fact is, with new updates, one of yours, like your people, is literally telling you, or telling the people that the government knows. And he even said himself that, you know what, he might probably die for doing this, for exposing all this, but then he's taking that risk because he came on national TV. So again, you saying that the government is out here fighting and doing the most and recording successes, we don't see them, because even in the president's home state, 1,000 people have been killed in the last 5 months. Go and check. So killings are happening every single day, and it like what else do you have to say? So you can't really like defend. What are you defending? Like it's so like unfathomable. Like you can't even think of anything. Why? So now that's now the new update. So like with what that man has said, which of course he said no, he has given investigations, even preferred solutions, and people obviously still want more investigations on what Commodore Kunle Olaomi has said. Please go and watch that interview. I think it's pretty long, but that is key. That is key, and they're also, as strict as it is, which of course is the military, like you'd expect. Of course it is. There have been security breaches like every Friday. Apparently, what happens is, of course, when it's time to pray, 1 p.m., that's when the doors are just let open and anybody can go in, which is like, but why? Like, why? That is a security breach, and it says that happens everywhere in the country on Fridays, the same time. He has what, 35 years experience. So I am very sure that what he's saying is backed up with the fact that he has experience. Wow. Somebody here says, I still wonder how right-thinking human beings would be dissipating their energy in defending the indefensible. I used to think that Lai Mohammed is the world's super liar, but with garbage, Shehu in practice, in the picture, I'm forced to believe that I am greatly mistaken. Of course, they will keep saying things, and I guess it's a distraction. It's a distraction that you're like, are they actually sick? Like, you'd be shook. And it's gaslighting. We find it funny, but it's like they actually have the audacity to be in power, to make a reality of what their citizens are living through, and then have the audacity to question what their citizens are going through. Listen, these set of people are very intentional and very wicked. It's very sure. Like they actually make the reality. They escalate the situation in the country. They don't fix it. And then from what they've made, in which their citizens experience, their citizens complain and say, listen, this is what is happening, fix it. And then you that made the situation, you now gaslight and then try to tell your citizens that you don't know what you're saying. You have nothing else to do but to laugh. You actually just have to laugh, because if you do not laugh, you are going to cry. That is the truth. That is literally the truth. Somebody here says Buhari's media minders have grown into masters of doublespeak. What have Buhari done to the bandits that is worse than prescribing them? Oh my days. Nigerians are thinking, and the subterfuge and sophistry are no longer effective. Okay. This regime is best synonymous to failure. Can anything good come out of it? Look at, for instance, the most peaceful state, likewise Maiduguri of before. Huh? Really? Maiduguri was a peaceful state? Wow. Things have changed. Yeah. Somebody says, you think Additional is the worst we've ever seen or heard of a media aid when Garba Shehu pops up with his own version of cynical ineptitude. Oh my days. You become totally confused as to who of the two is winning the battle for adult mouth rascality. Damn. But this person did not start that. I do not sense any lies. And that's just it. Like, what can you do? You have people like this, Garba Shehu. Do you ever? I don't even remember their names. It's just very sad. Femi Additional. Oh my days. Honestly, they're actually competing. They are actually competing at this point, and it's obvious. Maybe they're listen, it's a game to them. A journey that has a beginning must surely have an end. For those that believe in oppressing the other tribes, let them remember their days of reckoning is fast approaching. Is it though? Is it though? Because before that day would come, we would have to pay for the price of ignorance and suffer for what they've done. Not that they will not face the consequences. Of course they would. Maybe their future generations might. But for us right now, yeah, you need to think about that again, because this is not, this situation is not the best. But what I think about this, and do not forget to like and subscribe.